Om Shanti, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. I am Sister Shireen. I live in Tampa, and I'm one of those people who meditate all the time because I live in the center. I wish I could meditate more, though. But anyway, today we are not talking about meditation per se. Today, I would like to share with you something on the story of immortality. And so in India, Amar Katha, which is the story of immortality, is very famous. And so Shiva told this story, Amar Katha, to his wife. It's part of the scriptures on Amarnath. So Shiva is called Amarnath, and he told his story to Parvati, Amar Katha. And so that was when I was growing up in India. And so that was my introduction to Amar Katha. But now it has a totally different meaning and context. And the reason why I'm talking about this is very recently, I mean, compared to my childhood recently, we have been revisiting a book called The Story of Immortality. And so what we have been doing in this book, The Story of Immortality, was that this book is a compilation and a condensation. It's like the essence, when you have essential oils, you have lavender and then you have lavender essential oil. And so it's the same with this book, The Story of Immortality. So there is lavender, and then there's lavender essential oil, and there is our teachings, and then there is the Story of Immortality book, which really condenses and makes the story very fragrant and rich. And what I've realized with the story of immortality, and any story actually, is hero's journey. It's a hero's journey. And if you've noticed, many Hollywood blockbusters and many mythologies from around the world really follow this hero's journey, which was popularized by Joseph Campbell. And so this hero's journey is about this hero this ordinary person going on this adventure and this quest. And on the way, finding a mentor, on the way, learning all these things about himself, on the way, fighting with enemies, big and small, and then the biggest enemy. And then the whole journey transforms the hero, and then is able to come back to his ordinary world with this amazing gift. And so one thing we have to understand about this whole story of immortality and the hero's journey story, which are very intertwined, is that there's several things, but I'll list them, about 3 or 4 of them. One is that if we don't go on a journey, there is no gift. If we don't go on a journey, there is no transformation. That's one. And the second one, why do we all love it? Why does the hero's journey become the biggest selling blockbuster of all time? Like the Avatar's journey is the hero's journey, and it was one of the biggest, grossing Hollywood movies of all time. Or why is Frozen, one of the biggest grossing Hollywood films of all time, or even The Matrix, right? Is because all of us instinctively relate to this story of immortality, because it is our story. It is your story. But it is a spiritual story. And by spiritual story, what I mean is that the story is not visible. It's not about a visible dragon. It is about an invisible dragon. It is not about a visible mentor that you find, but it's about an invisible mentor. It's not about a visible journey you take, but it is about the invisible journey you take. And so some stories, like this book, and like a truly spiritual story of you, the soul, is such that it transforms you in the process. And these stories can only be accessed. Every detail of the story can be accessed if we go from this level of just looking at the physical world to looking below or above, wherever. In spirituality, there's no below and above, but you have to look beyond. You have to look beyond the physical world. And beyond this physical world is a spiritual world. And in this spiritual world, you are the hero. And the story of immortality is your story. And that is why you identify and you love these uh, hero journey stories, whether in Hollywood movies or whether in mythology. You love these stories. And for millennia, people have been loving these stories because it is each and every one of us. We have been on this journey. And so I invite you and invoke you to go on this journey, on this story of immortality journey to your spiritual center, to your spiritual core. And I invite you to be part of this really amazing um, transformation that is happening in this world. There is an amazing awakening in the world. And so, I think it was Dickens who said, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times, in the beginning of Tale of Two Cities. So in the same way, it is the best of times and it is the worst of times. So it's the best of times because we are really in this amazing awakening that is happening in the world. And it's the worst of times because if you plug into the physical world, then you know why it's the worst of times. But let's just plug into this spiritual world that just lies beyond this physical world. And let's just take our sustenance today from this spiritual world where your true story of immortality is going on. And so for you to plug into it, you have to go into that world. So let's take a few moments and have some meditation on this. I want you to take a deep, deep breath. Breathe in and out. Again, take a deep breath. Breathe in and out. Another one. And as you breathe in and out, you are slowly relaxing. You're relaxing into who you are, a spiritual being having a human experience. For the last few years, you might have forgotten or might have remembered this. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Whatever it is, right now, you're bringing this awareness into the forefront of your life. So take a deep breath and just accept. I am a soul. I am spirit. I am light. And I'm having this human experience. I, as a soul, am an eternal being, whereas this body has a lifespan. If I plug into the physical world, then I plug into the story of endings. The story of death and birth, of a beginning and an end. But when I become aware of myself as a spiritual being, I plug into the story of immortality, where I, the soul, have no beginning or end, where I, the soul, am an eternal being, no birth and no death. And in this state of awareness, I access the spiritual world where everything is in abundance. There are no limitations. Everything I need is available to me. So I take this moment and ask myself the question, what do I need right now? It could be peace. It could be love. Or it could be wisdom. Or any other spiritual quality. I settle on peace. And allow myself to experience it. I am peace. My original nature is peace. That is who I am as a soul eternally. I am light. I am spirit. I am peace. And I am eternal. I keep chanting this to myself again and again. I am light. I am spirit. I am peace. And I am eternal. And with that thought, knowing that I can plug into the spiritual world anytime, I come back to here and now. Om Shanti.